You're watching UNICEF television. Out on the streets, Afghan women don't exactly show off a brave face. Modern slogans of women's rights are on posters and given a platform at meetings. But in reality, women activists say they're treated like stock. So for this year's International Women's Day, some girls and women used 21st century technology to shout out from the rooftops about their struggles and hopes. With UNICEF's support, Soraya Paksad, a leading champion of women's rights, spoke from Herat on a live video link up to young women at the other end of the world in Sydney.
Very old dresses from the family. They are supporting by warlords, by extremists, and they are calling and they are threatening me on the way that they will kidnap my son, they will, kill myself, they will do this and that, by sending SMS message to my phone, calling me, mentally they try to disturb me and stop me running shelter.
The Australian volunteers were shocked to hear how Soraya's life was at risk for protecting children from early marriage and abuse. Soraya's organisation runs a shelter for these girls, and there are several similar shelters around Afghanistan. Under the Taliban, there were no women's shelters. They have been a safe haven for girls, but now shelters are under the spotlight again. It could mean nowhere to hide for girls and women who have had their childhood stolen, like Farah, forced to marry at the age of 9. All she could take with her to her husband's home was a small doll she had made and smuggled out. Her mother-in-law threw it away. How did she feel living in the home with a man who was 14 years older than her?
She says that I don't know any things. The only things that I'm thinking about that is to divorce. And all my mind is busy with that, when and how I should divorce from that man.
To run away?
Yeah.
Are you still concerned, and what are your big worries? What can the international community do?
That's our concern, that if international community doesn't, don't put pressure on Afghanistan government, things will happen. If they merge shelter to the ministry and then they will close down the ministry, so there is no shelter, there is no women ministry, so Taliban will be happy.
Some, however, believe there is no going back.
I think there's an unstoppable momentum, and it's partly generated by the young women and older generations of women themselves, who are not easily going to surrender what has been achieved and what they've gained.
Girls and women here are on both sides of the fence between traditional and modern values. But education of girls has taken a great leap forward in Afghanistan, and these feisty, fit players are determined not to let go of their goals at least. This is Peter Crowley in Herat, Afghanistan. For more information, go to unicef.org. Unite for Children.